Hello, dear students. Welcome to I-Fal. My name is Teacher Nikki, and I am here to have another grammar lesson with you. So, today's video, we will just continue the previous discussions that we had about conditional sentences. So, for this one, we will be talking about another type of conditional sentence, which is the second conditional. So, for us to better understand the second conditional, let's go ahead and start talking about it. So, as mentioned a while ago, we will be talking about the second conditional. So, for us to understand what second conditional is, let's define it first. So, the second conditional is used to talk about hypothetical or unreal situations in the present or future. So, always remember it is about like an imagination of a present or a future situation that it could be different. Okay? So the next thing that we have to understand about the second conditional is its structure. So to form the second conditional sentence, we have to start with if, simple past tense. Remember, if, simple past tense, and followed by subject plus would, could, might, plus base form of the verb. So for the main clause, we use the modal verbs would, could, or might plus base form of the verb. Now, please remember this structure is different from the first and zero conditional. So let's take a look at some example sentences that we have for the second conditional. So first, if I had $1 million, I would travel the world. So please take note that this situation is not real for the present time or the future. If I had $1 million, well, the person doesn't have $1 million at the present time. Okay, next one. If it rained tomorrow, we could stay indoors and watch movies. So this action or this situation talks about a future action that is unlikely to happen if it rained tomorrow. Now, if I studied harder, I might pass the exam. But the person did not or do not study harder or does not study harder. Okay? So this one talks about a possible present situation that is unreal. So in the second conditional, it is important to take note that the if clause expresses a condition that is contrary to the reality or unlikely to happen. It means it is actually the opposite of the reality, or maybe it is not true about the present situation. Then, the main clause expresses the possible or likely result of that condition. However, you also have to take note that the condition is not real or true in the present or future time. Therefore, this sentence is not real or true at all. Okay? So, here are some of the key points or important pointers that we have to remember when we are using the second conditional. So, first, it is used for hypothetical or unreal situations in the present or future. So, when the present or future situation is not real, or the condition of the present or the future is not real, then that is how we use the second conditional. Now, the verb in the if clause is in the simple past tense. So, when you are putting your verb in the if clause, make it in the past simple tense. Okay? Another thing, the verb in the main clause, okay, is in the conditional form, which means it should be in would, could, might plus base form of the verb. This is for your main clause. Now, the second conditional is often used to talk about desires, wishes, possibilities, or suggestions. Now, for us to understand these usages, let's take some examples in the next slide. So let's take a look at some additional uses of the second conditional. So the second conditional is also used to give advice or make suggestions. Like, for example, if I were you, I would take a vacation and relax. If I was him, I might buy the red car. We also use the second conditional to express preferences or to make a choice. Like, for example, if I had a choice, I would live in the countryside. If it were up to me, I would eat pizza every day. So as you can see, those are sentences for preference and choice. Now, the second conditional is also used to make polite requests. Please pay attention to the construction of these sentences. If you could lend me some money, I would appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind, could you please pass me the salt? Now, since this is polite request, we could just add the words could or wouldn't mind on the if clause. Okay? Please pay attention to that. So, two more usages of the second conditional is when we express doubts or disbelief. Example, if he really loved her, he would support her dreams. If she were telling the truth, she wouldn't be so defensive. See, there is doubt or disbelief with these sentences. Next usage is talking about hypothetical or imaginary future events. Example, if we won the lottery, we would buy a big house. So take note that this situation is an imagination of the future. If it snowed tomorrow, the schools might be closed. So this is also imagination of future events. Okay? So it's really important to take note that the second conditional is used for unlikely situations in the present and future time. So usually it implies that the condition is not expected to be fulfilled or to happen. So it also allows us to explore different possibilities, express preferences, or make suggestions in a polite and indirect manner. So please pay attention to these usages. Okay? So I think that's all that we have for the second conditional. So please pay attention to the rules, sentence construction, and usages for the second conditional. So if you want to learn more about this one, I encourage you to please enroll in our classes. There are so many teachers that can help you learn about these conditional. So thank you so much for listening. I am Teacher Nikki, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye. Have a great day.